Hello and welcome to COP 4708. In this session, we'll continue transforming the database from the design into the implementation phase. The implementation phase where we are going to write the code that will create, manipulate, and process the database in a database management system. Any of the database management system that we learned about. To do that, we have to write the code to understand or that will work as the adapter between the design and the database management system. This code is written by a language that's called Structured Query Language, or SQL code. So once I hear the word language, I'm thinking of more of programming languages, the one that I know, like C, C++, C sharp, C++, C sharp, or Java. But actually, SQL is a data sub-language. It's more of a database-related language for creating and processing databases or database data and metadata. It was developed or introduced by IBM in the 1970s. And after that, it was used as a standard language for processing and manipulating the data for all database management system in the year 1992. The SQL statements can be categorized into two categories. One for defining the language and one for manipulating the language or manipulating the database. So one for defining the database and one for manipulating the database. The one for defining the data is called DDL, or data definition language, and the one for manipulating is data manipulation language, DML, and those statements can assist in creating table relationship and structure the database, and the manipulation for updating, deleting, adding, and modifying the database. The fundamental framework for the SQL query is the SQL Select statement. So the select statement selects the information that you need from a table and display it through certain condition. So we have the select from where are the condition, and usually we end our statement with a semicolon. Not a must, not all database management system require that, so you can try yourself and end your statement with a semicolon. If it doesn't work or give you an error message, then your database management system requires that. Otherwise, maybe it doesn't require it. To understand more how the database can be manipulated or queried through the structured query language, then we are going to go through an Access database file that's ready. It has certain tables and query that database. To be able to do that, you can download the database file for Chapter 2, which is called Chapter 2 Examples Metadata Base, or MDB, which is uploaded to the website, to the Florida Online website under Content. Once you do that, we are going to open the database. And it will give you a security warning. You can click on Options, Enable Content, and say OK, and you will have all the tables that's listed in the database. So we have inventory table, we have the NDX, order, item, retail order, SKU data, and warehouse. and I did not double click. If you want to see them, you can double click, but I don't want to see what's inside them, because I will use actually the query language to explore what's inside there. So I will go to create query design, and then although these tables are listed, I don't want any of these tables, so I can just close and choose the SQL view to start manipulating the data, or exploring the data based on the code that I will write. So the first thing that I will do, I would like to display two columns. So I will select department and buyer. As you can see here, I made a spelling error in the department to see if that will debug um, the code that I wrote. And then I will say from, and the table is SQL data. Then I will run, and it's giving me error message already. So it's saying enter parameter value. That if I saw such a message, then there is something wrong, because it should display for me something. And if you look, the department is misspelled. So all what I need to do is to fix the spelling, then run, and I got the department and the buyer. So in this case, I'm displaying only two columns from the SQL data. If you go to the SQL data actually and double click, you will see that you have the SQL number, you have the SQL description, you have the department, the buyer, and you can add any other fields if you want. So what I did, I displayed only 2 out of 4 columns. Now let's change the order of the columns. So instead of having department first and then buyer, can I switch that by using buyer, comma, department, and from the SQL data table, then run. And yes, as you can see here, it did switch for me the columns. So I can actually order the columns the way that I want, not based on what they show in the table itself. So you can display it the way that you want. You can view it, explore it, and query the database based on the search, or based on the query that you created, to look at them the way that you like. Now, what if I don't want to show all buyers? What if I want to show only certain buyers? Instead of, showing, if you run this query, you can see that Pete being repeated twice, Nancy being repeated twice, Cindy twice, and Jerry twice. But, I don't want to know what they bought or from which department, or to be repeated many times because they have many orders. I want to just know the clients, just list the clients that I have without repeating them. So I can maybe email them, call them, make advertisement, make marketing for my company. How can I do that? Then I will change the code and add just one word. I'll add the word distinct buyer. So by doing this, only I'm displaying the buyer one time, instead of displaying all the orders or the purchases that a certain person did. It's only displaying the names uh, for those clients just one time, so I can contact them for any other purpose. And in this case, we got only the name one time, as you can see in this example. So the word distinct can be used to eliminate the um, redundancy or repetition of a certain column or record. So I will use it for other issues. Now, one of the other things um, that you might ask in this situation, what I did at the beginning, I said select buyer and department. How did I know that there is a buyer and department in the SQL data? I looked at the table and I found that there is a buyer and department in that table. But what if I don't even know the tables, the name of the tables, I mean the name of the columns within that table? How can I query about them while I don't know the names or the field names? Also, what if I have hundreds of columns? How can I display all these hundreds in this situation without, uh, capturing the name? I mean, if I know the names, then I can put SQL, uh, SQL description, department, then buyer. Because already I looked at the columns and I know the names, then I can list them all, and that will give me all the columns or all the fields within that table. But what if I don't know the names? Now notice that for order item, I did not even look at the table, so I don't know the names, the name of the fields, the names for each field, or the name for each field in that table. What should I do? In this case, I will replace all these with a wild card. This wild card is the asterisk. So if I write it like that and I went to the table that says order, and run, then it will display for me all columns or fields available within the order item table. As you can see here, we have 5 columns. I didn't know that there is order number, SKU, quantity, price, extended price. So to do that, I used a wildcard, and that did display for me all the columns available. So if you have hundreds of them, then you can use the asterisk to display it, or you can use the asterisk to display uh, the columns if you don't know the names. Actually, you can do the same implementation in uh, you can implement the same query or the same language in MySQL, which is a personal database management system that's um, personal. It's very personal. Or in Microsoft SQL, so you can do the Microsoft SQL Server, you can use the Oracle, or you can use the MySQL as a personal database. Any one of these database management system, as you can see, they are using the same format for the query language. So it's a standard language for database management system. You can download the MySQL and play with the query language. You can actually migrate the information from the Access database to the SQL, the MySQL database management system, and query the language or query the database as you wish. We'll continue with more examples. So I will give you another example with the code and see can I order, can I arrange the data or order it by. So I will say order by. So we are going to arrange them ascending or descending, it doesn't matter, but we will arrange them. And let's choose two columns to arrange them by. The first one will be order number, and the second one will be price. And run. As you can see here, we got the columns arranged first by order number, then by price. So for the order 1000, order number 1000, we have 130 and then 300. For the order 3000, we got the 50s first and then the 300. So I did arrange them. I did arrange the columns or the records for me by order number and then by the price. I can also arrange by order number as ascending and price as descending. And we can actually move this first and flip the arrangement or flip the columns. And we said that we can do that if we want to. So I will order by price first and then by order number if I want to. And then run. As you can see, we did arrange them by price first, then by order number. And I want it to be descending, so it brought the high numbers first, then the low numbers. So 300, then 130, then 50, and that's why you have it in this order here, descending, here ascending, 1000, 3000, based on the query that I just created. I can use also the where clause, where I can add. Let's choose in this example the SQL data, and I will add, instead of order, I will add a condition. What's the condition that I will add? I would like to display only the ones that departments is equal to water sports. And I added these small brackets here. Those are just those brackets just to display it as is. So I'm searching for these specific or this specific keyword, these specific keywords or statement. Not only that, but I will add another condition. So I will do and then another condition for buyer that is equal to Nancy Meyers. So now I'm more specific that I'm not only looking for a department, but also look for certain buyer in my query. Once I have that, then I will run my query, and I got all the orders, the items that Nancy Meyers bought from the water sport department. So I did display buyer department based on the criteria that I added within the query language. I can also use, instead of and, I can use or. And then from the or, I can just change and I will ask for another department. And let's see if I can change that to camping department. So I want the query to display for me the water sports department or the camping department, not and or the camping. So any one of these will work, either this or that. So if this is not available, just display for me this. So that will display all options that's available, and then I will click run, and I have all water sports department and then camping department, as you can see in this example. How about if I specify a certain group and I want the query to be in that group? So I will say where department, or let's do it with buyer. Let's say where buyer in, and I'll specify the list of people or buyers that I want the name to be included, or their name to be included. So I have Nancy Meyers. Now don't forget the small brackets to be specific in the search. Cindy Lou Jerry Martin, and run. I forgot to close the big bracket, so it gave me an error message. So I have to remember to close it, then run, and as you can see here, you will see that it displayed for me Nancy, Cindy, Jerry, but Pete Hansen was not displayed in this situation or this list. So as you can see, we can eliminate uh, part of the uh, buyers using certain query commands. Or I can say either include or exclude. So I will say not in. What if I say not in this group? It will display for me the one that was left out from the group, which is Pete Hansen, because I don't want all these people. I want the one that I missed or I did not include. So I got the one that was um, uh, excluded from the group. What if I'm dealing with numbers? I can put actually different conditions on numbers, and if we go back to the order item, and by the way, you can see me sometimes writing the table lowercase, uppercase, in certain database management system. It doesn't make a difference, and you can try. You can put lowercase, uppercase. I can say from here like that, and that will work. So it's not a must to be all uppercase. It depends on the database management system, but we do it in this way to make it as standard as possible. So for the table name, it will be all uppercase. For the column name, the first letter will be uppercase, the rest is lowercase. For the statements, can be all uppercase. The commands or the functions that's being used also can be all uppercase. The reason for that will make it easy for you to debug the code when you go back and look at the code, so you can know that this is a table name while this is a field name, and you can know the commands that's been used within the database management system. Some database management system actually will give you a color code for the statements that's been used by the query language versus the line for the code itself, the table name or the condition that you are adding. So all these color coded or uppercase, lowercase is just to help you in the debug and understanding the code when you look at that. So let's do it for numbers. How can I select for numbers? And in this case, I will use another command that's called between. Again, you can make it like this, or you can use uppercase. So it depends on the database management system that you're dealing with. Most of database management system can accept actually lower case. So it doesn't matter if uppercase or lowercase, it will accept it. But try and see if that will work for the database management system that you are working with. I will let that as experience for you. I change here from to lowercase to show you that it will not matter in this case. As you can see, what I did, I displayed only the order numbers that has extended price between the 100 and 200. So it included the 100, the 130, and the 200 as extended price. That's those are the one that were included, because I did specify a range for these orders for the price. We can do it in a different way actually. Let's do it different way, and in this case I will say where extended price is greater than or equal to 100, and less than or equal to 200, and then run. I forgot to add the word and, since I have two statements, so it will be where extended price is greater or equal to 100, and so I forgot the word and to add it there. And if you run, you will find the same results that we did with the between. So whether we do the between or the math symbols, the inequalities or the equalities to display these, it will display for me the same results that will give you the range of numbers between two different numbers. That will be all for this session. If you have any questions, please email it to me through Florida Online, and that will be all. Thank you.